Enra kevintaylor could pay Supreme Court. No, pay for the Supreme Court. I will coffee. No, name Syria. And then you say a restaurant. Justice J. Bafo at the 2020. No, John Romani Mahama buying a gisa a restaurant. No, a free so. And some of court when you say a choir Justice Eric J. Bafo de a restaurant. No, F2 kevintaylor so no, and yambra choir so. Just say who here just say. Any baby I say, nipa yes had the na ultimate restaurant at Tonoso until we use our restaurant no at the freeness. Na enra or me the freeness on and the NPP for Casa. Our moche mu say, a yomo cry ya say, ubi to say kevintaylor a restaurant danoso, na NDC buying a year restaurant at the freeness. But I never acquire NPP for every fee say, and conform me dirty works at the ma. NPP movie in 2016 abano na kevintaylor one of them. Name no omunya kunyani no 2020. Omutimi restaurant eto no so ankomunyana ombe jele no na nipa ba ko ba bontene ebe chire ma wo chemu se NPP fo nyina eye omo ya no eye former atense mayor anase former Greater Accra regional minister ene kasa ansem na wo chemu se eye omo ya se kevintaylor etimi aden ho free sa a restaurant na omo de to no na kevintaylor we bi ba ko bi a Ghana ase de we di ahemfofo nyina tem wo kansen we no no do tumfo di be shemu se kevintaylor diatama manaso tumfo so but already comment section of that particular video now Ghana for chiremu say NPP for and common tum because enya ha say and no may blame games enya ha say and na say issues are that between kevintaylor and otumfo a se sia akwada din no oba benyane no it is see omo party every power na kevintaylor ye free na omo common tum next time on be learn say obi boa wo omo win power omo mfa boni into a cross okay. Without wasting my time, no, the video no NPP for Kasa number. I say, hey, malikbasintale TV. So, but how much subscribe, share, open your video, maybe and share.
This is your question.
Okay.
Permit me to make some few remarks on this kevintaylor.
Okay.
Matter
okay.
At the Supreme Court. I don't know how often you've been watching Kevin on his podcast that is all over the social media. And his appetite not to deal with issues by the penchant of insulting everybody. A typical example is a 2-4-2. Ashanti King. You can drag him to the mud. Say all kinds of things against this revered king. You sit back and you watch and you ask, hasn't this gentleman got a father and an elder to speak to? The Ochihini and other prominent people in this country insulted everyone just like that. And what brought about this? Because the matter has been determined, so we can speak on it. They are during the trial of the NCA $4 million matter. He made a statement that the judge at the time, the High Court judge at the time, Justice Eric Bafo, was elevated to the Court of Appeal to do the bidding of the NPP government at the time. And the judge felt scandalized and an attack to the justice delivery system. So he needs to be invited to come and justify the reason why or prove that Justice Bafo is doing the bidding of the NPP government. This is a lawyer, a judge with so much integrity, who has distinguished himself at the bench for him to be scandalized like that. And in fact, the bench warrant was issued to the police to make sure they effect his arrest. This gentleman has been coming to Ghana under full protection of the NDC government, national security. They protect him. a fugitive who is invited to court, then the sitting government and the security operative will protect the gentleman. I thought the president, during his swearing in when he held the sword, said he wanted to defend the constitution, protect it. So if a fugitive is invited by the court, would rather be protected by the state. I feel so bad. And when President Mahama at the time when he was campaigning, when he described the Supreme Court as unanimous FC, when he met you remember he met the NDC lawyers.
Right.
He was addressing them, he was dissatisfied about the decisions of the Supreme Court. He described as unanimous FC. At a point he even spoke that there's a need to cap appointment of judges to the Supreme Court. So the latter part of our office, there were 2 judges that were supposed to have joined the Supreme Court. They were vetted by Parliament.
Right.
But the minority then blocked that. Immediately, President Mahama was sworn in. He has appointed 7. Out of the 7, 3 of them sat on this matter.
Right.
I'm talking about consistency. If you said because of the appointment of more judges to the bench at the Supreme Court was not right, and you spoke against it, where is the consistency here? So you came and you brought 7 people. So how do you describe those judges? These are competent. When you listen to their vetting at Parliament, you could see that they are deep in the law. It is not about politics, but because of commentary that you have passed. How will people see these judges who are sitting on the Supreme Court bench? It's not right. It's not right at all. And for the state to defend this, to protect this boy, you are giving him the license with this judgment. Because when I was reading, he said that because he was not giving hearing or the art and pattern rule, he was not given the opportunity to come and defend himself. But the man is sitting in America. He throws the bomb on social media. It is a duty of the police when he assumes office as government, instead of you protecting him, you ask him to go and defend himself. But the Supreme Court have spoken. What they have done is to give him license to insult everybody, including me and Kwesi and you. If he's doing the broadcast, speaking on issues, that, everybody will be happy and applaud him. It is important he takes insult out of the work that he does and deal on issues so that all of us will applaud him. But to focus on insults against the real business that he does, I don't think he's doing himself good. He's a young man. This is a free advice to him. He should take a lesson, because without the national security operative, can he come to Ghana? He cannot, because he has a family here. He loves to come to visit his family here in Ghana. But anytime you want to come, you have to come under protection. He was even wearing those masks. Do you have coronavirus here? Do we have coronavirus? Now you want to disguise yourself and wear nose masks. The very flight that you flew from the US to Ghana, where you were sitting, there was a Ghanaian sitting next to you. You are known. Now I want to cover your face with nose masks so you not be identified. But here you are. You should move away from the insult and deal with issues. You should learn from the journalists we have. We should learn from them, so that we all support him and commend him whatever he does is work. But to go and insulting people as Antony Otufo, Duncan Williams, this prominent man of God, respected man of God, Taflache. If his son is ill, do you use that to insult him? Moro, maybe it was an kevintaylor can use this man of God. There are men of God in the Bible whose children have challenges. So if this man of God, Taflache, has a sick son, do you use that to insult him? We don't do that. It is not fair. So for me, this is what I want to tell him, that look, you should move away from the insult and focus and do a better thing for this country. Now back to your concern about the...
But before you go
But you
back
see,
to those concerns, I think that you have raised issues which are worthy of examination. See, first of all, the claim has been made that the national security is protecting him. I cannot verify that claim. But it's a claim which has been made by you and one or two others. What I like to say is that if anybody feels very strongly that the law has been violated, there are processes for seeking redress. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So there are processes for seeking redress if you feel that the state has offended the law. I don't see any offense to the law, but if you think strongly that the state has offended the law, there are processes. The second issue that I like to raise is this old maxim that those who seek equity ought to come with clean hands. And I don't see many clean hands in this business. I don't want to go into details, you understand? But I don't see many clean hands in this exercise. Now, the other point is that the warrant of arrest has actually been vacated by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has thrown it out because, according to the Supreme Court, by a 4-1 decision, it lacks merit. Okay. I want to believe that the Supreme Court made that decision in conformity with the law as understood by the judges who sat on that panel. And I want to believe, as my brother here and his party have always said, that we have an independent judiciary. If they now say that we don't have an independent judiciary, we are ready to examine the facts that they will put forward. But all along, they insisted that we have an independent judiciary, in spite of the fact that the president who has just exited office appointed the vast majority of judges sitting on our courts. So that's all I like to say for now. I mean, the most important point is the point about those who seek equity ought to come with clean hands. There are some things which have been said, but actually officials of some of the parties, including the New Patriotic Party, we cannot be repeated on air. You understand? So why do we focus attention on Kevintaylor? And Kevintaylor is not a boy. He's not a boy. He's a full-blown journalist and so on. He's not a boy. Why do we focus just the attention on him and ignore all the others who are actually holding elected political office and what they say? That's my problem.
Moro, NPP will continue to insist that our judiciary are independent. Even now, in my remark, I said that at the vetting of these 7 appointed judges by the president, you could see that the understanding of the law is deep. I'm not against it. NPP is not against the appointment. But I'm talking about consistency. Yesterday you said appointment of judges to the Supreme Court was bad. It should be capped. Then the next morning when you assume office, you shift from your own statement and come and do the reverse. And that is the consistency I'm talking about. We firmly believe in the, what do you call it? The independence of the judiciary. The work that they are doing will support them. We will never attack them. I sitting here will never attack judges. I'm a law student coming up and I want to be like them one day. It's about the consistency is what I'm talking about. Okay? That's it.
But even there's a big problem.
What is the problem?
A huge problem.
What is the problem here?
Consistency to what end? For its own sake. And when we're talking about the judiciary, given all the constraints that we have and so on, the important things we're looking for is an independent judiciary.
Right.
Which would handle cases on the basis of the law as understood by the judges. So if that is guaranteed, what are you doing with consistency? What are you doing with consistency? Consistency which will become an aberration in terms of the application of the law and so on. Is that what we're looking for? Consistency for its own sake? And in any case, unless I'm wrong, and Moro, I think that we can appoint you as the judge in this matter. During the campaign, I heard President Mahama say that to reset the judiciary and so on, it will become necessary to appoint more judges.
Right.
He said that in his campaign.
Right.
So what is the inconsistency?